It has been difficult. It's been difficult for the family and, for the team as well to a certain extent. But, they say that work sometimes is the best medicine. So I think maybe this whole deputy team principal business that's come along has been quite a good distraction. So I'm fine, thank you.
Tell us about that responsibility and the step up to this very swanky new title. I mean, obviously, it's been in the making for some time for you. It's something that you've talked about for a couple of years. What has taken you to that point, and what preparation have you done, if you like, in the last 18 months or so?
When Toto made his decision to leave to Mercedes, I think it was somewhat felt that there had been a bit of instability within the team, and we needed some stability. So it was discussed amongst the board as to what the best solution would be. And because I've been at Williams for a long time and I've got the experience and I know the team, I think it may have been felt that maybe this was the solution that would bring a bit of stability back to us.
Let's just rewind slightly and talk about how you first started at Williams.
I'd always worked at Williams during my school holidays, just filling in the travel office with our team manager Dickie and helping out booking the boys' flights and stuff. So when I lost my job, I didn't want to just sit at home and just search from the sofa. So I thought, well, I'll go and make myself useful at Williams and help out a bit because they were busy at the time, which I did. And then one day I got a call from our then head of marketing, Jim Wright, who said, press officer's just handed her notice and I'd like you to do the job. And I kind of said, you are crazy, have you asked Dad? And he went, no, I haven't spoken to him yet. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, you go phone him and then call me back and let me know what he said. And sure enough, he phoned and said, within about 5 minutes, called me back and said, yeah, your father said no way. So
just a purely anti-nepotism thing?
Yeah, purely. He'd got my older brother working there already. He'd worked there for a long time. And I think he felt that it wasn't right having another one of his children working and running around the business, which was absolutely fine. I had no aspirations anyway to work at Williams. It wasn't something that was on the cards because I knew and understood Frank's or Dad's, feelings on the matter, and I accepted that. And it's right, no father wants their children running around their company. After a good few weeks, he changed his mind, and here I am today, 10 years later, 11 years later.
It's interesting because it's the first time I've heard you refer to Frank as Dad. Is that a kind of conscious early decision that you wanted that kind of professionalism that you do always call him Frank?
You have to cut a fine line, but I do think it's important and it's more professional to call him Frank in the workplace for everybody else's comfort as much as my own.
And tell us a bit about Frank in terms of being the boss and describe his work ethic.
He works his socks off. He always has for Williams. He's had a goal and he's had a dream, and you can't achieve your dreams in life if you don't put in that effort. And he's been very clear in his ambitions, and he's worked hard to achieve where he's got to today.
And what about your own characteristics? What do you get from your mum and your dad?
Gosh, it's always difficult to say, isn't it? You think, other people should judge you on your own, your traits like that. But I'd like to think that I've inherited Dad's work ethic. I think I work hard. I'd like to think that I work hard, probably not as hard as some people in this team. But I think I'm determined. I'm determined to get this team back to where I'd like it to be.
What's the response, do you think, to being a woman in the paddock?
Monisha started the trend when she took over as team principal of Sauber, and I think it's great that there are more women, but I'm always of the firm opinion that you succeed based on merit rather than gender. I think that's really important. But I think that if more women take these kinds of positions in the sport, I think it can only be a positive thing.
As always, lovely to talk to you, Claire. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.